and welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
And we're back, and it's, I don't even know what day it is. I've been working now.
5th.
The 5th? Well, today's the 5th.
Yeah, Friday the 5th.
No,
because
it's Saturday,
Saturday.
honey.
No, that's what I meant. I know that March 4th.
Saturday.
March 4th
We're filming
was
on
Friday.
Saturday
The
today.
5th.
We're
Is it
living
the
in a
5th?
time warp.
We are. It's Saturday. I got a job, and so I've been working. And so anyway, we're back, and we had all our junk here. I'm going to go first. The first thing I'm going to talk about is our giveaway. So we're still in our giveaway time. So if you are interested in winning our giveaway, comment in the comments below what's your favorite thing about Sticks and Strings. We had a few comments last week, and we're going to put those in the giveaway, and then whoever comments this week, we'll add it up, and next week we will draw for it. So the giveaway is this pattern, which is the three of us, the flamingo, the elephant, and the gnome, working on our favorite things, and the poor elephant's having to look around the flowers. So this will be a free pattern for you.
I didn't put anything in front of her yet.
Oh yeah. Today she's you can see her.
We can put my quilt smart in front of her.
Yeah. And then so that free pattern will be yours, and this beautiful bag that Eve made. It's a St. Patrick's bag. It's got a zipper in the top, and it's got a zipper front pouch right here, where you can put things. It also includes a scissor fob, which we photographed last week. We'll put that up again this week. It's got stars and 3 charms at the end. And so that will be included. And then the coasters I promised last week. I did put up a picture last week, but I actually brought them today. So it's a set of 4 coasters. The front is, it's like, I liked it because it had like a crochet hook and sewing notions and all kinds of crafty things, needles and threads and things like that. And it was very hard to find a backing that matched, but I think I did a good job. This is just a little yellow flower back. So you get 4 coasters. And I made 4 more. So these will be on the Etsy shop if anybody would like to purchase them. So you got your craft room coasters for your coffee and your Diet Coke. And
I buried mine. They're buried back here.
She can't buy
I had
her
to use
coasters.
a crochet one.
But there will be... Oh, and we found the charms. I was supposed to put a picture of the charms last week. She sent me a picture because she found them after I left.
I found them shortly.
And I forgot to put it on. But there's beautiful little charms on these. Little St. Patrick's Day charms. And the charms will also be on the giveaway pouch. These will be up. Are up? Will be up?
Yeah.
Are up on the Etsy shop now. This set. It's a Notions bag and a beautiful project bag. Zippers and charms galore. So that's the advertisement for the day. So please comment and let us know if you would like to be entered to win, and we will put your name in the drawing next week. Excuse me while I put that stuff over there. Sorry, I'm back. What am I working on this week?
See what she has in her paws.
Sorry, we had to pause because the dog was eating a pin.
A straight pin. A long quilting pin.
I saw this cartoon by the Oatmeal. It's a guy who does cartoon strips, and so the life of a dog is like making you love them and then trying to find a million ways to kill themselves. And in the cartoon, the dog says, you probably should know I just ate a battery.
Well, my dog did.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Made me think of Rogue. Okay, so what am I working on? Well, I'm trying to remember the last time I showed you this little sweater.
Last week?
I know, but I'm trying to remember what it looked like last week. Because here's the back. I don't know if I'd finished the back.
Yeah, you had.
I had.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finished one whole sleeve. So it's hard because I have all these strings hanging. But I did the panel up between the front and back panels and up the sides of the sleeve. So there's the little sleeve. It's so cute.
I love it.
And then I'm working on it's so hard to, all these strings hanging everywhere. It's really hard. One day I'm going to finish it and you're going to be like, oh, now I see the sweater. But so here's the side panel and the sleeve, and I'm right here. I'm knitting this way now to close up the second sleeve, and then it will be a little baby sweater. See, it's got a little crossover in front. I know it's hard to see. It looks like spaghetti. So that's my spaghetti sweater. I should get it done probably this week if I work on it.
Sometime before the baby's born.
Well, baby's not due till April 15th, so I think I'm okay. But I interrupted everything to do this. Look at this hat. This hat is
Very
called Ripples Make Waves by Casapinka. It's a hat pattern that she's giving away for free with the encouragement that you, in place of the cost of a hat pattern, you donate to services for the Ukrainian people. And I think that is so fantastic. So I'm making this, and it will have a sunflower, which is the Ukrainian flower, national flower, in the top of the hat. So this is, I interrupted myself to make this, and I went off and bought some yarn from my local yarn shop, from Tempe Yarn and Fiber. It's this beautiful, what's this called? West Point blue, I guess. I thought it looked like jeans, which made me think of Hannah, because I'm not making it for myself because it's never cold enough here for a wool hat. But
we had winter yesterday.
We did have winter for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
is that what you're using your little bag for?
No, because
it's very small.
Well, not that. It's perfect size. So the bag she's talking about is this one. Ooh,
I finished it.
She finished it.
I figured out what I was like. Oh, duh.
I was gonna put this hat project in there, but then I didn't want to go to doctor's appointments and work and stuff with a Christmas bag. So
it is a Christmas bag.
It is a Christmas bag, but look how cute it is. That's the other thing I was going to show. She finished it. There's the zipper inset, and it's got pockets inside. It's so cute. I love it. I love it. It's nice and foam, and it's like stands up on its own. It's really nice. So that's the bag she made me.
It's an adaptation of a pattern by Missouri Star Quilt Company that Misty Doan showed.
So I didn't put this project in here, but anyway, so and that's really all I've done this week because she released this pattern and I was like, I got to do that. So as soon as I could get to the yarn shop, I actually bought 2 balls. I am going to make myself one for my, cold trips camping or whatever, but first one goes to Hannah in Boston. Well, I'm going to Boston in April. It won't be that bad. Better not be.
Compared to here?
Well, compared to here. True.
Of course, when they get hot, they get humid hot, which is nasty.
Muggy hot.
Gross.
Yeah. So...
I remember when I went in, I guess it was March, for your recital.
Yeah.
That it was freezing.
Yeah, it can get kind of cold.
There was still ice on the ground.
But I really love this pattern. It's very beautiful, and it has kind of a flat top.
It's pretty.
Yeah, and it worked up. It's in DK weight, so it worked up really quickly. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to participate in that. So that's what I'm doing today. I have stories, but you're next, Beth.
Okay. 1 second.
Just a second. I got to fix
the
my
second
yarn.
one with thread.
Just a second. I got to fix my thread.
Okay.
That pattern is so stinking cute.
Yeah. So I'm working on one of my Whip Go patterns, and this is Winter Gathering. I have it under here somewhere because I don't want to show the pattern. So yeah, Winter Gathering. It's the little birdies on a wire. And so apart from this thread that's, hold on 1 second. This is part where I am. I'm on the second bird here, and I'm actually working on the 3rd and 4th birds over here because the brown, dark brown, on them was close enough that I could
Keep traveling.
Keep traveling over, and so now I'm working on this little light beige color. So.
Another dog paws.
Dog paws. Dog paws.
But anyway, so this is Winter Gathering. This is I worked a microscopic amount on March 1st on this pattern, but I didn't count it because I just like put in a handful of stitches and then I got doing something else. So this is technically only my second day working on it. It's one of my Whip Go goals. I had 10 days on it, so this is my second day, I think. My other Whip Go project for March is the March Rabbit, because I had a new start written down on the square that was called, and that's this pattern here. And
did you ever finish the February rabbit?
No, it's right here.
Oh.
So I started it, and so I've done one of the coneflowers, one of the yellow part of the coneflower, and the middle coneflower here, part of it. And then I started on this white rabbit thing, and this is the pattern calls for 1/2 one silk thread, one ply of silk thread. But when I started doing this rabbit here, part of it is that it's white, and part of it is that it's this particular color of fabric. So this is Murano Crochet in the colorway called Fleur, which is a beige color, and then it has these little white flowers, basically. Like
I wondered. I was like, what are all those little white dots that you stitched in?
Yeah, the little white flowers. And one thing I'm a little bit afraid of is that where they put the white rabbits in, that they'll kind of like make odd shapes on the rabbits' bodies, but I don't know. Because on this little coneflower, it goes over one of those flowers. Yeah. And it kind of looks a little weird, but I haven't put the other color in yet, so it might cover it up. I don't know. And you might not really be able to notice it once the whole thing is done. But when I was doing this rabbit, I had like some, leftover thread, so I just started on this rabbit, and I got to the end of that thread, and before I cut it off, I thought, that doesn't really show up very well. If I am looking at it like this, you can see it, but, so I pulled it all out, and I redid it with 2 threads, so you can see it a little bit better. And I feel better about the coverage and
Can I see it?
and all that. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. See, there's a little eye.
So how come you chose to use that fabric with the flower on it?
Because it's beautiful.
It is very pretty.
Yeah, I have all the colors that they make in this fabric, and I
you thought you should try it?
Yeah, I thought I would try it, and it really looks good, except it just the white rabbit doesn't show up very well, and I obviously couldn't do it on this, and the other colors, in trying to match, like to look at these colors, and all that.
Yeah, I was just curious.
So I chose that, and I like I said, I haven't looked at all the other rabbit things to match them up with fabric, so that might be one of the things I do, so that because actually in one of these bags, maybe I put it in there, I have like all the rabbit patterns and all the Murano Crochet fabrics, so it's
I see.
But anyway, so this is the February one, which was one of my just like personal, are you all right? Random goals for myself for February that I didn't need. This is the February rabbit. And so I was working on it, but then I put it aside because I was, trying to meet my other goals, which I didn't meet. Well, I made one of them. But anyway, so I did another rabbit and some more of these little heart things. And I put in this center motif that I had forgotten about, I had left out. But so I worked on this a little bit on March 1st. I, worked a little more on the February rabbit. So I have the two whip go things for March, and then this leftover, and the ones for February. I had like 2 more days on those to go, and I just have set them aside for now because I didn't make the whip go goal, but I made a lot of progress in the 8 days that I worked on them. So and the goals for them were 10 days each. So I almost made it. But one thing I did do was I finished this. This is my Winter Crossstitch Camp piece, monochromatic piece that we were supposed to not start before February 1st and hopefully try to finish it by the 28th. And so I finished it on the 28th, like at midnight. And the last thing I did was 2 little backstitch things on these little strawberries where, it would help if I held it right side up.
I don't know how you can tell.
Because the one
birdie, right side up.
Yeah, because I had it like this. That doesn't look right. Like
they could sound like that.
Yeah,
they can hang on.
So yeah, the little strawberries. There's just like a few, like 2 little backstitch areas attaching the strawberries, and I didn't put the buttons on after all. I stitched them without the buttons. So, but I really, really like that color. It's Bing Cherry on Lugana or Even Weave or something.
I saw that you didn't win though.
No, I didn't win.
I didn't win either.
There were prize giveaways,
That's all
but
right.
yeah. As long as I finished.
I finished. I didn't. Okay.
So
I
this
can
is,
talk about it in stories, but I didn't do so well on the I Love to Stitch thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I qualified. I didn't even count. But
yeah,
anyway.
this is Gathering Berries by Misty Purcell, Luminous Fiber Arts, and the other one I was watching my my floss tube to see what I had talked about, and what I had not, and the other. I couldn't remember the other one of the series of this. Right, there's Gathering Berries, Gathering Snowflakes, Gathering Acorns, and the fourth one that I couldn't remember, the green one, is Gathering Clover. So there it is. But yeah, so I really like this, and I really like this series. So at some point I'll probably buy the others and do them as well. But that's so cute. So that'll join my to be FFO'd pile.
In other words, you'll never see it again.
Yeah. I probably won't do it again. But, so, I have a pile of junk here.
But Eve, if you ever started an FFO business, Beth would be your most prolific client.
I have offered to help her FFO the snowman.
Yeah.
That she stitched for me for Christmas.
And
there it is in her FFO, to be FFO pile.
Which one was that?
The one you gave her for Christmas that you gave her and you took back and...
Well, every time I come out here, you're working on the quilt thing, so,
she likes snowmen.
And
after this week, I think she's going to need a break from working on quilt things.
So
you'll hear about that in stories.
So no, because I have Beth's quilt to work on.
Oh, okay.
So last week, on Saturday, so we filmed this on Friday. So on Saturday, we went to the attic and bought a few things there. And one of the things we were wondering about, was one fancy floss. There's a bunch of DMCs, but there's some fancy flosses. For this pattern,
I bought that pattern in the fall.
No. I think it was after the first of the year, but it
was last year. I bought it.
I don't know.
It was right when it first came out.
Do you both have the same pattern?
No, I bought it for her to do for me.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Because I fell in love with it.
I see.
But yeah. So one of the threads is still missing because
the attic hasn't had it.
The attic hasn't had it, so we might have to just order it online or whatever. But so when we went to the attic last week, I had the jackrabbit. I had ordered it online, and so I bought some fancy floss for that pattern, and I only bought the flosses that I needed. So I had, a very I got away from the attic very cheaply.
I, on the other hand, spent $60.
So, as I said, I made up for it the next week.
Yesterday?
Because no,
twice. Yeah, we've been every week recently,
Mm-hmm.
haven't we?
Yes. So anyway, I bought a whole bunch of fancy floss.
What's fancy floss? What does that mean? Is that a brand?
Overdyed floss.
Oh. But that means
So-
it's Classic Color Works and
Yeah,
all those.
mhm,
You're just saying
yeah.
it's fancy because it's not DMC?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So I bought some that I already had, and some that were new. Like this rose garden, things like that. So anyway, I bought, and some of them, these are threads that I had because I was going through and pulling. No, this is the Bing Cherry. This is what I used on here. So I bought all these flosses, and I think there's some that I already had to go with this. But so I have the jackrabbit. And I went ahead and bought the fox and the swans, which are part of that series. And I'll show you those in a second. But I found this hedgerow, and Plum Street has these. Has
Can't
these.
Look at them?
Not this one.
Okay.
Not yet. So Plum Street has this series of like stacked animals. So I have the llama lump pattern. And this is hedgerow. So there's
Llama
three
lump?
Yeah. The llama lump has 3 llamas standing on each other. And this one is hedgerow. There's 3 hedgehogs.
And
the
oh my
yolk.
gosh, that's cute.
Yeah. So there's this one. So I bought well, I tried to buy the fancy floss because of this. They had pea pod, but they didn't have pine needles, which is, So I have to make a list of things I need to order, I think. But then I saw this one, Christmas Eve. This is Cottage Garden Samplings.
That is so cute.
It's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
It's a Santa carrying a sack.
With the
He's got a
poinsettia
big,
on
long
it.
beard.
And he's got... Oh my
It's so
gosh,
beautiful.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, so I bought the floss for that, the fancy floss for that. There's
Very much.
Bayberry, I think I had. I didn't find it at the attic. They didn't have it, but I think I have it. And then Rose Garden, I bought there. So
That is so cute.
it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of Santa patterns now that
It's all my fault. It's all my
But
fault.
yeah, so then when we were at the attic yesterday, I bought yet another. That's why this has a tag on it, because I bought this bag. But I also bought they have like little notions pouches like this one that I bought some time ago, little bitty pouches. But they also have these larger ones. And I bought this, and for some reason this, maybe it's the manufacturer, because this one has a label on it and this one doesn't. This little medium one is a little bit more expensive than this large one. I don't know. But anyway, but I bought this because on those rabbit patterns, they use silk threads, and I have my silk threads all together. There's like 12 of them total for the whole month, a year. But I have them in a bag, and I feel like they're going to catch on the bag and on the zipper or whatever. So I think they'll do better in a bag like this, just because the zipper is smaller in plastic, whereas the zipper on the bag that I have them in is one of those metal zippers.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm always living in fear that I'm gonna
sound like a knitter.
Snag the silk threads on there. But anyway, so I bought a whole bunch of threads.
Again?
Again. I bought even more threads.
Girl? Oh my gosh. What are you doing with your life?
Buying threads.
So when I went to buy this yarn, my husband says, "Don't you have yarn?" I'm like, "I do have yarn, but I don't have this kind of yarn. It has to be this weight of yarn, and I don't have that."
So I was buying threads. I had a list of, because I'd gone through my threads and blah, blah, blah. And so I was, buying some threads. And I actually bought one, Fancy Green Nancy, just because I like the name and I like the color. It's not on my list for anything. But this one, so...
I'm sorry, it makes me laugh so much.
But so then I saw this pattern, and I had seen this pattern last week, I guess, when we went. And I thought, oh, it's so cute. I want to buy it, but I'm not going to buy it. But then I saw it again this week, and I bought it.
Little kittens.
3 little kittens. 3 little kittens who lost their mittens.
Oh,
remember that poem?
Little kittens lost mittens.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And it's a little bit big. It's like 8 by 10, 8.5 by 10. So you want to see the finished size.
That's
so
so cute.
It's pretty good size. But it's so cute. There's the little kittens, and the mama cat, and the kittens in the middle, and then over here where it says lost mittens. There's and there's one of the mittens is up here on the wash line where these geese are doing the laundry, and the other mitten is hanging off a tree over here, and so.
Oh my gosh.
So I bought the threads for this one. I didn't buy bamboo and cocoa bean because I have those.
Good for you.
But all the other colors I bought. So, but this brings me to another one of my dilemmas, and that is that I'm trying to think of a better way to store my fancy floss, because right now I have them on on those rings that you can buy like at Hobby Lobby or whatever. They hook in the middle, and they're hinged, and I bought a couple of them where they open very easily, and the hinge moves very easily and all that. But then I bought some that are like you have to fight to undo it, and then they don't move, they don't open very easily and all that. And the little teeth thing wants to grab the thread sometimes, and sometimes also the little hole doesn't want to go over the hinge on the thread, especially for Weeks Dye Works, because you have, it only has one hole in it, which has the thread and so it's a pain. And on those circles, I try to have them like in alphabetical order so I can find the colors. But then if I want, say, this thread, then I have to move everything out of the way to get that thread off, and then I have to move everything out of the way to get this thread off, and so I don't know. And if I had a dedicated craft room, I could, like, I've seen people with different solutions or whatever, and I don't know. I don't know that I have room to do all that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of my threads, my thread dilemmas.
I was gonna say, how do you keep them all straight?
Well, it's pretty easy with the DMC thread that I have, because they're all bobbinated, and so I have boxes of the thread bobbins and all that. But the fancy flosses, I have, like I said, I have them in alphabetical order on separate things. I have a couple of rings for the Weeks Dye Works threads, and a ring for the.
Oh, I see.
For the.
But you keep them on the little thread drops like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I have some like I have some Al Forst embroidery threads because they come on these little cardboard bobbins, but they have very small holes, and you can't put them on a ring or whatever. So I have a couple of sets of those Al Force embroidery threads. So I put them on thread drops, separate thread drops and whatever. But so yeah, I have these three different, three or four, well, four, because I have two for Week Star Works, one for Classic Colorworks, and one for Gentle Arts. And I have a box with all these rings in it, plus the Al Force embroidery things. So, yeah, it's a pain in the butt. So,
How
so
do
I'm
you
still
organize them, Eve? You just...
I have it in a bag, and I can go in there and I look at it and I get the one I want and I don't worry about it.
She doesn't have nearly as many,
Yeah, you
many
got
as
a lot
I
more, I
do.
was going to say.
I don't have as many, and even if I did, I wouldn't do anything different.
Yeah.
I just don't organize things in the same way Beth does.
Yeah.
Which is why I can never find anything.
That's true.
So
Which is why we had, charms that went missing last week.
no, those charms were in a put away place.
They were put away.
But
She made a mistake and put them
yes, that's what I was gonna say.
No, I put
like
them
my
away.
dad always says.
I put them away in the wrong
You
place.
made a mistake and put them away.
I put them with my sewing stuff instead of my stitching stuff. I mean my charms and stuff. Are you done?
Yeah, I think I am done.
You better be done.
Oh, we've been talking forever. No. I talked forever last week. Yeah, now I'm the one going, just a minute, let me do this thread. So I am working on my Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe Sal, which the second piece of it has come in today. I am still working on the first piece because I've been doing other things.
When is it supposed to be finished?
Later this month. It only has one more part coming in. And I had plenty of time to read more of the book because I had a medical procedure that took forever. And let me turn this off so it doesn't use battery up while I'm talking. So I have been working on that today. I didn't work on it any other time this week. What I have been working on was my berry sal, spring berries. And I am working on Hop into Spring.
That's so pretty. I really like that one.
I haven't seen. Oh yeah,
That's nice.
So
that bunny is really pretty.
That's the one where you just decided all the colors on your own.
Yeah. The bird, I thought that the bird was charted in oyster. I went ahead and bought oyster. I bought it. But I thought the bird was charted in that. No, the flower is. I'm not making a flower that color. So I don't know what color it'll be, but it won't be oyster. But I have mentioned in the past that I have vision issues. In the pattern, the symbol for the oyster is a square. The symbol for the color that the birds are supposed to be, the top part of the bird, is this.
A diamond
It's not exactly a diamond. It's like a square
with corners cut off.
that's turned a little bit. So to me it looked the same.
Oh.
And I guess maybe I'd put in my eye drops or something. I went, wait a minute, that's not the same thing. Oh, you know why I noticed? Because Helen D, I was like, her birds are blue, and she said she did all of the called for colors. And she hated the fact, she goes, I should have just used Scupper Mug, which is what this was supposed to be in. I didn't use Scupper Mug. Up here. Mm-hmm. And she goes, I think Erica Michaels did too. She used this same thread, which is lily pad, I think. And she goes, I really should have done, She doesn't like it. But I'm using, since it's charted all in one color, I am using all the same color. It's Mountain Mist. And I have my, I got in my Witchy Stitchy needle minder. I put it to use. It's very cute. Beth and I got them on the same day. You didn't order yours.
I still haven't ordered mine.
You should do it right away.
Cute.
It's adorable.
Right there.
Oh.
It's very, very cute. Anyway, but the middle berry, which is what I want to work on next for these berries, is a darker color. The called for is summer khaki Belfast linen. Well, as I said, I don't want to work on linen. So I went to the attic last week, and I bought what I asked her. I asked for because the only color I had from in my stash was that same fabric that Beth has for the rabbits with the flowers on it. And while I probably could use that, I didn't want to have that distraction on that berry. So I asked for 32 count, and I bought this. And when I was doing my video, by the way, I had to do my video twice because I did like the whole video and then realized I hadn't pushed record.
We did that once.
So while I was doing my video, I was going to read the color, and I read 25 count mushroom. Wait a minute. 25 count. So what I'm working on is 32 count. Now, if I made this one in 25 count, it would not be the same size.
Oh, no.
So I had to go back. But before I did that, I went ahead and went to Hobby Lobby to see if they had anything I wanted to use. And I thought, well, I could use this.
Oh.
Maybe. And then I thought, well, this is 32 count.
That's nice.
And then this is for the cat and the dog.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's those are Morocco Carré taupe and 18 count Rustico Ada and 32 count Morocco Carré Spa. And the only reason I really don't want to do it with this 18 count Ada is I think there's some 1/1. So I said, well, I'll just go back and to the attic. I mean, why not? And so I did pick up some 32 count Lugana in platinum, which I actually like better.
Ooh.
The color's pretty.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any problem with this mushroom. You know,
Yeah.
I like this too. I said I'm not annoyed, mad. I'll use this for something.
Yeah.
But I need.
So you just picked up the wrong package?
No, she cut it for me. I told her I wanted 32 count,
Oh.
and she fussed around the drawer for a while, and she said, well, how about this color? Is it okay? And I said, yeah. I didn't say, are you sure that's 32 count? Because they're very competent. They know what they're doing. Yeah. So after I got back from the attic, I was looking through Instagram.
So you didn't return it, you just kept that one?
Yeah, I just kept it because it's a nice piece of fabric, and they cut it specially for me. So after I got back, I was going through Instagram, and there was a post while the mice away, the cats are playing, and they put fabric on sale. They didn't tell me there was fabric on sale.
Oh, we're at the attic?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, no.
They didn't tell me, and I was buying fabric.
Oh, gee.
So anyway, I was like, come on. I'd have maybe looked at it at least.
Now you gotta go back.
No, I think it was only on sale over the weekend because of market. So I had been working on this. This is my Whip Go project, one of them. honeybee. And I have 5 days on honeybee. This is 3 days work right here. And while I was working, I was like, wow, that's really small. And I've only done one other what's in my cup. And I thought, I don't remember it looking like that. So I brought that. Ugh. This is Peep. Can you see it from over there?
Yeah, I can hold it closer. Besides, I want to look at it. Also, this is a what's in...
And it's small. I didn't realize how small.
Oh, sorry, I made a mess. Cute.
Yeah, but...
I love this finish that you did on it. It's so neat.
Yeah, I was happy with it.
Is that your dog making noise? Or a
No,
bird?
she's right here by my knee.
She's licking.
Oh. Trying to eat more pins.
Might be Dad. I don't know. So, yeah, I have a wooden beehive looking thing that I plan to put this in the middle, finish it on that.
Yeah. That's cool.
So, they finished it on a barn or something. Yeah. Anyway, what am I talking about and what am I doing? I don't know.
You're talking about your bees.
So I also have an FFO.
Oh. That's right. You were showing me
A
that.
little pocket
Oh,
for.
how cute.
It has a little pocket in back for scissors. It's a little pin keep. So
Nice.
yeah, and I've been stealing the scissors.
Is pin keep the new word for pin cushion?
Well, no, because it's just keeping the pins.
Oh, I see.
That was the one you bought, or you got for free if you bought the pet pins.
Yeah, the pattern. Jeanette Douglas, I think, made this pattern specifically for the attic, and it was called Patriotic Basket. And I made it nothing like the colors that were
I like it a
called
lot.
for.
It's really beautiful.
So did it come with the trim?
No,
You bought that?
I just bought that. The pins.
She did everything else.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
this is a Hobby Lobby trim. Yeah,
She can do that.
and
She can
and
put things together, unlike us.
and this fabric is from Hobby Lobby. The fabric. It's on
The back of it.
And Rachel, I have not forgotten that you need more cat bandanas. I was like, I can't remember what size I made those. So Beth gave me one of the cat bandanas I made so that I could do that.
Yeah, I took Snugs off because he was like,
Scratching at it.
he's always scratching, and so he's running around naked right now. Took his collar off and took his bandana off.
So
Calvin was
before I
naked.
talk about the next thing, I did do another day's work. This is WIPGO January Itty Bitty Kitty Committee. I have all the cats done. And
Nice.
one of the reasons why I wanted to work on this is because it is very small piecing. Little pieces. The piece here, much smaller than the pieces I'm going to be talking about.
You're going to get an earful in a minute. Just letting you know. Mm-hmm. Stay tuned.
And you are going to get a product review.
Yeah.
So all I have now is to do the sashing and cornerstones and put the top together. So I might within the WIPGO days
Get it done.
get the top done.
Get the top done?
Yeah.
Nice.
Getting it finished is another thing entirely. Okay, so because my son is still languishing behind me. Although I do want to get it done so I can get it off of my sewing thing.
Yeah.
So while all of these cats may not be exactly 5 inches like they're supposed to be, the piecing of them was not anything really horrendous. And of course I know that Missouri Star's piecing stuff tends to be a lot easier than some other patterns.
Yeah.
But, okay, so now we are on to, and I don't have the pattern here. the Tamarack Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
There it is. The Quilt Smart. Quilt Not So Smart.
the quilt annoying. Okay, so I have been sewing since she was maybe 2.
That's a long time.
I remember making clothes for her when she was a toddler.
Yeah.
Clothes for her. So I am acquainted with sewing and with putting things together and with interfacing and such things.
Fusible interfacing, and everything else.
Yep. And as I recall, I mentioned I'm not going to do stripes or anything. You know, why is the pattern only on the back of this thing, right?
She's talking about the back of the Tamarack Jacket. It shows the Bargello only on the back, and the sleeves are like.
And I was like, I'm going to do the Bargello on the front and the back. And I thought, you know, the Quilt Smart had enough panels for me to do that. It's my fault. I wasn't thinking about seam allowances. But I will never recommend this product. I will never buy it again. It is a waste of my money and my time. There'll be a picture here of it on my ironing board with all the little squares ironed on it.
Let me see that folder. This thing.
And when you pull it over any kind of curve, all the little squares would fall off after they had been ironed on. Now I have had interfacing that didn't stick, but of course it wasn't little tiny squares on the interfacing. I would never do that. You know, I would sew it together and then make an interfacing on it if I needed to do that.
Okay, I'm just going to interject. Mine didn't even say this.
What?
This says, irons vary in temperature. Test first. Polyester setting is a good place to start. That is where I set my iron on mine. Because I use this product, a different pattern. But mine didn't say, use medium iron, use polyester. It didn't say anything. So you didn't know, you know. But, so at least you have that.
Yeah. The thing is that it did stick. Long enough, you'll see a picture here of it on my ironing board with them stuck. But as soon as I moved it to do anything like sew it together, they all kept falling off. And you will see you'll see pictures of it with parts of it falling off. And it was specifically the black fabric.
Like that one.
Yeah, you'll look, see how it's just flapping? Because even though it's been ironed to this, it didn't stick. And so I have the rows done, which I had to go back in and rip stuff out because some of these hadn't stuck in there, and they had either been crooked or
shifted.
Or fallen off of,
So the fusible interfacing did not fuse.
didn't stick. Yeah. So
It's annoying.
now I have to go and cut every single intersection, every single one, before I can turn it this way and sew it this way.
Yeah.
You know, I could take these little squares and sew them together faster. The only advantage was being able to lay it out, and you don't have to sit there at the sewing machine figuring out which piece goes next. But
Are those 1.5 inch squares?
yeah,
So you could have used honey buns.
Yeah.
And done it in strips.
yeah.
This is not good.
No, you know, maybe for people who have not been sewing as long, actually that might make it more annoying.
It would be worse.
They might say, I never want to do it again. You know, it was this quilting jacket challenge to use this Quilt Smart. And I realized that it's a new product, and I will be leaving a review I bought it from Missouri Star. I will be putting a review on there of, if I could put 0 stars, I would. Yeah. Because it makes making this, even if I made it with squares, it makes making this way harder than it has to be. And I have my little alphabetties on the colors, so all I have to do is put them in order, and then I know which one to pick up next to sew them together. This is not fun, and
It's
and
easy,
making
fast,
this
and smart.
making this jacket should have been
That's what it
fun.
says.
And I'm going to have to, if I continue using the Quilt Smart for the rest of it, because this is not going to be, this is half. This is the left half. Okay, and here's the right half. And it will be, I think, maybe wide enough
But it's
for
not
the
long
pattern,
enough.
but it's not high enough. Okay, I'll cover up Beth. It's her jacket. So, what I'm going to have to do, I have to sew this together. Fine. You know, sewing things together, not a big deal. After I think for this sewing together, I might not have to clip it because technically it's clipped, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think I need to either add more pattern to the top, because at the bottom you have the 3 points,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the 3 things. So I'm either going to have to add more rows to the top, which I have plenty of fabric and all that to do it, or rethink how I wanted the back to look. And I measured Beth and I looked at the pattern and I actually figured out how to adjust it, but I'm actually going to print it in single sheets and tape it together, because I thought, you know what, I'm going to print this out 100%, because if I'm going to have to cut and tape and cut, I only want to do it once.
Yeah.
You know, because I'd have to do it to make the pattern the right size, and then I'd have to do it to adjust the pattern to Beth's body type. And actually, that is not going to be that difficult to do. So, if I have it the right size in the first place, it's not going to be that big a deal. So, so I am frustrated. I'm annoyed, and I do not
terrible.
like this product at all.
It's terrible. And I guess
And these seams, there's no way that this big old fat seam, I feel like going in and clipping this so that I could get it, you know, less bulky.
Mm-hmm.
It's very bulky.
because of the interfacing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine too. And I
can't, without, fortunately this probably isn't sticky anymore, but in order to get this flat enough for me to want to go ahead and sew the other way, because I want to get it flat,
Yeah.
right? Before I sew it, and it bends very easily to sew. Now that they're all in there,
yeah, no, they're
not
all
a big
attached.
deal, right? Except now I have to go and clip. And I understand why you want to clip, because then after that's done, you would have this huge knot,
Yeah,
you know. So,
you want to clip them so they can go opposite ways like that, and then you have a flatter seam. But yeah,
yeah, I'm, and you know, I picked this pattern because it looked cool.
Yeah.
But because I thought with the Quilt Smart, having watched several of the product videos, I thought, well, this one will be easier in using this product.
Mine isn't failing like that, but it doesn't make it almost doesn't make any sense to use it, in my opinion. I don't think I would ever. I don't think it makes it really any easier.
I think that if you
So,
are
this was a huge
making
lesson.
I think if you're making a small project, like maybe a little bag, you know, I think maybe that would be okay, because it adds a little bit of heft to the fabric. And then you put a lining fabric or whatever, you know, it feels more weighty. I could see maybe.
Because now that interfacing, because I'm a little bit worried about it in my jacket, because the interfacing makes those squares so stiff. Now it's kind of nice because when you sew them together, they're not going to stretch or anything like that, right? But at the same time, it's going to make the fabric on your jacket stiffer, you know? So I don't know how it washes, if it washes into something kind of...
I don't know.
More...
I just know that this was not cheap.
Nope.
It's not a cheap product. And for something that costs that much, I think it should work better. And the instructions are clear as mud.
Yeah.
I mean...
it's not been fun. It would have been more fun to just make our own quilt tops and make the jacket. You know what I mean? However we wanted. Like I was thinking I could have made the Hunter Star pattern. I was thinking about it. Because the quilt that I made Hannah is basically 5-inch squares. But I thought, what if I did 2.5-inch squares and made the Hunter Star pattern out of 2.5-inch squares for the jacket? That would have been cool. Well, I could have done the exact same pattern in just a smaller... You know,
I'm like, thinking about.
I should have done that.
I am considering doing the same pattern with the little squares, the same thing, making the pattern exactly the same way, but on the front, not using the interfacing. And honestly, because if you make a mistake and put the wrong thing together, it's not very difficult to fix. This, when I had to go back. When I had to go back in and fix one, in the first place, I would have known that it didn't catch. You know, if you're stitching, you know, two things together, you can see them and you can feel them. But when you're stitching it like this, you know, it's masking.
That's what I don't like about it.
It's masking
even in
what you're looking
mine,
at.
you're sewing blind. You're sewing blind. And that's why I had those problems at the beginning, because I didn't, you know, because I didn't realize it, and then I started gluing the little extra fabric the outside.
That's what I could do. I could use this to lay it out and then glue it.
Well,
I have that powder glue. That stuff works really well.
Yeah.
I could do that.
That's true. I was going to say, but if you use the front, if you do the front without the interfacing and the back with the interfacing, it'll feel different when you finish the whole thing, won't it?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Don't care.
Thought. Just a thought.
Don't care. Not my jacket. No, here's the thing. It'd be just on the back, so the arms and the front would feel the same.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's just like any jacket that has like a pattern or something on it. You know, sometimes you know, the feel on the back is a little bit different. But honestly, with the quilting and the batting in there and all that other stuff, it probably all feel the same.
You always put, was it leopard print flames on it? Remember that?
Yeah. Crazy.
So, if any of you guys are considering buying or using this fabric, think 4 times first.
You mean Quilt Smart product?
Quilt Smart product, yeah.
Not fabric.
Not fabric.
The Quilt Smart interfacing.
I know that with this jacket story, they were, you know, and they wanted you, in order to participate in it, use this stuff, and that's why we tried it out. I will never buy it again, and I won't recommend it.
I won't either. I mean, I'll probably make the Tamarack Jacket again. You know, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done it yet, but I mean,
the jacket,
I like the
instructions
idea
for the jacket are not difficult,
and they're by a different company.
And if you want to try making the jacket, and the jacket pattern is easy. The instructions are very easy to read.
You don't even have to make a quilt top. You could just make it with fabric and quilt it.
Yeah.
Meaning just sew them together.
But if you have a quilt top that you don't know what you want to do with, and maybe it's little, you know, turn it into a jacket. You know, I'm I'm very disappointed with this. I'm very disappointed in the fact that, you know, it shouldn't be, oh, this fabric won't stick. 'Cause it's just cotton fabric.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, obviously, there's something different in it from the others.
I didn't read any reviews on these before I bought it. I just, you know, I didn't read any reviews like on Amazon or anything, but I want to go back and read them now and see like.
Well, yeah, you're going to see a very bad review from me. Because I would have been, to stand at my ironing on all of these, it took me hours and hours to stand there and iron all of them on in the first place.
And that's after you cut them all.
After cutting wasn't the issue,
Yeah.
you know, but ironing them all on, and then to have them just fall off as I'm trying to stitch, you know, sew them together was.
She sent me pictures last night, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Let me just say that if I used bad language, it would have been blue in this room.
So if I had been here,
It would have been more
blue.
than Shaka Khan.
Yeah, I was just.
bad.
Yeah, I was so mad. And then, since I was the last one, I'm going to segue into a story. Not that that wasn't a story, because it was. I was in here working, and I heard something fall. And I saw my measuring tape over here, and I thought, well, I guess it was just part of my measuring tape hitting the ground, because most of it was up here on the table. It just fell apart. I wasn't even near it. It's not like I ran a
rotary cutter
through it or
Let me see
anything
the
like
end.
it.
Oh, is that
It
one of
looks
those
like it.
plasticky things?
It looks like it, but no.
It just cracked, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's so funny. It's like at an angle.
Mm-hmm. It was just
And
sitting
it's
there.
so soft and pliable. I'm really. Oh, look.
What?
There's a second cut. Maybe you did cut it with scissors. Because look,
And it just
here and here.
That's weird. I don't think I was cutting anywhere near it.
Oh, it goes this way.
Yeah.
How funny. You must have. It's so pliable. It's not like old and cracking. But there's a second cut right here.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I'm gonna have to buy another one, but
This is a nice
you know,
one. Mine is.
I've got like two.
Yeah, I've got
I've
two.
got one out
I
here
have
and one
another
in my
one.
room.
I've got two,
Yeah.
but I could never find either of them. I had to measure my head to make this.
I
hat,
keep
and I was
one
like,
in my sewing box, and I have this one because I like it. It's more visually easily used.
That's
But
funny.
yeah,
Well, so a weird thing happened to me this week. You know, I started my new job, and as part of the job, I get a pass to a city garage, which is nice. So I last
especially
week.
since it was raining yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it didn't help me because I didn't have an umbrella. Because, okay. First story. Eli tells me 2 days ago, he says, it's going to rain tomorrow. And I was like, really? Nah. So he told me that. And so that morning, Friday morning, I looked at the weather and I was like, it doesn't say rain. It's not going to rain. So I didn't take my umbrella. and it didn't rain until I left to go home, and as I was packing up in the office, I said to my coworker, "Oh, I almost forgot my purse. I better take that with me." Ha ha ha! Took out because my sweater and my purse were in the same place. Took my sweater, put it in my bag, left. And I get all the way to the parking garage. As I'm approaching my car, I reach down for my purse to unlock my car. No purse. So I had to walk all the way back to my office, and it started raining. And I was like, Eli was right. But anyway, so last week, on my first day of work, I rode the bus. Remember? And then this past week, I drove in, and I parked in the garage, and they didn't have my parking pass ready yet, so I paid for it. I just paid for it. And they said, just bring us a receipt and you'll get reimbursed. So the next day, I come in, and
The dog is warming
oh,
up.
and she's warming up to bark. The next day I come in and they're like, "Oh, I've got your parking pass," and I said, "Okay," because she's like, and I had parked in the garage thinking I would either pay or whatever, but she's like, "I got your parking pass." I'm like, "Cool." So as I'm going out now, it was 1:00 in the afternoon. There was no attendance there, so I went to swipe the card, and no, it didn't raise, and I'm like, because I'm already in the little chute, there's like nowhere I can go. I can't pull out. I can't back, and I'm like swiped it again, and the light turned green, but no thing. Fortunately, on there it said, "If you have any problems, call this number." So I called, and he's like, "What's your name?" And I told him, and he goes, "Oh, that's not activated until tomorrow." And I was like, "Well, they gave it to me today." So he goes, "I'll open it for you," from wherever he was in the sky. The little garage man in the sky opened it for me. So I was like, "I don't want to be stuck here." But no. But then I guess it was Thursday. I was driving home from an appointment at 5:00. Now, if you know, I know the sun is everywhere, but in Phoenix particularly, if you're the way I guess it's also the way kind of where we live is situated in the corridors in which I drive all the time, which is east and west. So I was driving west at 5 something, and usually it's 6 something, but now that it's winter, it's really 5 something. The sun was directly in my eyes, right? And you're like trying to the visor, and you're trying to see the traffic, and I'm on the freeway, and there's a lot of traffic. And all of a sudden, on my fancy Mazda that has all the safety features of the, the stopping and the side things and the lane thing, comes a message that says something about assisted cruise control is disabled, something, something, something. And I was like, what? And I kind of pushed a button, and then I got another message, and I even took a picture of it while I was driving. Don't tell the cops. I took a picture of it because I was like, what? Because I thought, I need to call. Something's wrong with my machine. Something's wrong with the computer. It said, system disabled due to poor outward camera visibility. And I'm like,
what does that mean?
What? So I'm driving into the sun, and I'm thinking, the camera is blind. The camera is being blinded by the sun that is blinding me. So if I can't see and you can't see, well then who's going to help me? I'm like, my car just said, "I'm out. Peace out. You're on your own.
I don't have any sunglasses.
You're on your own." So it's like, and sure enough, as soon as I turned south, everything's fine. And I'm like, you stupid little car. Someone's got to be able to see. I was counting on you because I couldn't see, and I figured if there was a car in front of me, you'd stop me. No, I guess not. So I'm like, okay, fine. I couldn't believe it.
It's a funny car story. We went through the drive-through at McDonald's yesterday, and so we were at McDonald's. I don't know what street, but it was like the line was really long, and it's it was one of those that has the two order lines, right? But of course, and the sign says and the sign says anytime, any lane, anytime. But no. except for now, because one lane was blocked off with traffic cones. So the lane that we had to get in was really long, and it was really slow because this one car was sitting at the speaker for like 100 years. And then finally,
and you're like, "Excuse me,
I started joking, and I said, maybe it's just one person in there. She has to run to the back and make a sandwich, and then she has to go and get soda.
It could be,
yeah. And so the person in the front car, was sitting there forever, and then you could see that they were placing an order finally, right? So that then they moved up, and the next car sat in line and sat there, and the guy in front of us had enough time to get out of his car, and he had like a bag full of trash, and he ran over, there was a dumpster, and he ran over there and put something in the dumpster and got back in his car, and the line hadn't moved, And so finally he went forward and, placed his order, blah, 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 so we're like inching forward, and we got up there, and of course, when she told us our total, she says, such and such at the first window. I mean, the second window. And so like, oh yeah, she's doing it by herself. So we went up to, you know, so the guy in front of us had like 3 Happy Meals. But then he just sat there. And it's like, so maybe I guess he's waiting for the rest of his order. So sure enough, you know, she comes back later with these 2 McFlurries. And so we're thinking, yeah, she's over there making everything herself.
Jeez, it could
and
be.
so yeah, so we, you know,
Oh
I mean,
my
there was
God.
somebody I think in there, but it was like
There
you
might
know,
have
she
been
was-
one other person flipping
Yeah.
burgers.
Yeah,
But this person was busy.
Yeah, she was kind of doing everything.
It's like it's
herself,
hard to be
yeah.
mad because
Yeah, oh yeah, you know.
it's so awful.
Well, and it was funny because we were laughing about how, you know, there's a couple of stores that are open 24 hours. And so, you know, we were joking about, I guess they're not having any trouble getting, you know, workers, but like at the local dairy, what do you call it? Dunkin' Donuts, you know, they're supposed to be open whatever the hours are. And the last few times we've been there, they've had a little sign that says, you know, they're closing at 2:00 because, you know, of their worker shortage or whatever, you know. And there's a few places that are like that they have shorter hours or whatever because they can't get anybody to work, you know, in late
it's
hours
awful.
or whatever.
It's really
So
awful.
yeah, but
It's really bad.
yeah.
And you're like, try not to be mad, but and there's signs everywhere. They're like, we're seriously understaffed.
Yeah, we're hiring. We're
You
hiring.
know, at Biscuits, they had a sign a while back. I didn't notice it recently, but the one in Ahwatukee. I mean, they're both in Ahwatukee, the ones we go to, but the one in the foothills. There's a sign on the door that says, "We're short-staffed today. If you be patient or get an application." You know? And you know what? Their food is so good, I'll wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the one that you know, my dad. I guess it's once a month or something. They have a men's breakfast there, and one time that we took him, and it's like at 7:30 in the morning or whatever, some really early hour, and so we went one time, and the hostess or whoever, somebody was basically outside, and the place was closed because their cook had called in like at the last minute, so they didn't have anybody there to cook the food. So
That's
so it was I guess that she was waiting to see, waiting for somebody else to show up or something, but they were like not open for a while there because they didn't have anybody to work.
Well, we better sign off. We've got things to do today, and we've been bending your ear.
Yeah.
So
Don't forget to comment to
to enter the giveaway.
comment to enter our giveaway, and we will be doing that next week on our video. So make sure you tune in.
Yeah,
Please,
we're giving you a little extra time because we film on Friday, but the video doesn't come out till Sunday, so you got a couple of extra days. To
So-
squeeze in there.
So we will be looking for those comments, and we will be doing the drawing next week. So thanks so much, and thanks
get
for
it
getting
in there
us
by Friday this time.
I don't know. I think so.
To be safe, Thursday.
Yeah. My work schedule is ramping up. So, but anyway, thank you so much for joining us and for being a subscriber and for liking and commenting. Thanks.